Hi everybody. We're just starting, so I'm going to just kind of wait for the audience to build. So at the bottom, as you join, say hi, how you doing? I'm going to just basically, hi. What we're going to do is basically talk about some of the columns that I wrote this week, and I'll talk about what I wrote about, add some things, and if you want to ask questions that have to do with my columns or with related things, then go ahead and ask. Discourage questions about my personal life or my feet or anything like that, as usual. Alright, hi everybody. So we'll just get started with the first thing that I wrote about this week, which was well, I'm going to actually group two of these together. So we'll start with the leggings ban. I don't know if you guys heard about this. There are still a lot of people, even after the real story was shown, there's still a lot of people who think that United Airlines is banning people who fly from wearing leggings. Because there was a story that came out because someone tweeted out that they saw 3 young girls not being allowed on a flight because they were wearing leggings. 2 of them didn't get on at all, and one of them, I guess, had to put a dress over her leggings in order to get on. The thing is that these girls were past travelers, which means that you're either someone who works for the airline or you're a dependent if someone works for the airline. And there's a specific dress code in place for United for these people because they get a free ticket. They get to go on for free. They don't have to pay, but they do have to wear, they have to look nice. They can't wear sloppy clothes, they can't wear rubber flip-flops, things like that. They can't wear dirty clothes, and one of the things they can't wear is leggings. They know this at the time. If you agree to be a past traveler, you're agreeing to their dress code. And people are saying that they were wronged. But, people are sexist, how can you, But the thing is if you accept an offer based on certain circumstances and then you don't comply with them, you can't say that that person was wronged. That's like if you go to a restaurant, you go to a fancy restaurant and you order all this food, and then the waiter comes with the bill, and you say, I'm not paying this, this is ridiculous. It might be ridiculous, just like not wearing leggings on planes might be ridiculous. I wear leggings every time I fly. Might be ridiculous, but you already agreed to the terms. You already sat down and you already looked at the prices and decided to do it. So whether or not it's ridiculous doesn't matter anymore. Society, the market, is made up of a series of contracts. And if you entered into one of those, essentially, an agreement, it's a mutually agreed upon exchange. You agree for a past traveler that you're going to wear certain clothes, and you get to get on for free. And they're saying, I'm going to wear leggings and protest, and I would love to see anyone do that, get up like some sort of super feminist with their leggings on and say, hey, wow, I'm being a super feminist. I'm being a super feminist, planning to not get on the flight. They're going to get on because they're paying for it. Every time I fly, I'm wearing leggings. I look like crap. My hair is a mess. I sometimes have makeup on, like, eyeliner in, like, weird places in my face because I take a lot of red-eye flights because I work a lot. I have worn 2 different flip-flops on accident. But you know what else I do? You know what I always do? I pay for it. I pay for it. So if you don't want to pay for it, it seems like a fair trade to me. I would wear my prom dress from high school if I got a free flight. So why are you complaining about getting a free flight? It's, or about them getting a free flight. It's pretty ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to do more hoop earrings news. And I wore my hoop earrings just for this, just for you guys. So I don't know if you guys remember the no white girls in hoops people. Some students at Kollege wrote on a campus free speech wall, white girls take off your hoops. And then one student sent an entire campus email saying this, saying that someone said this is legality, back to the leggings thing. Right, the employees that didn't let the customers on the plane could have gotten in trouble if they would not let them on the plane. So anyway, these students, one of them sent out an email about the hoop earrings saying white girls take them off immediately. Someone else replied to the email saying the same thing, the all-campus email thread, And now these girls are writing, and this all came out in the school newspaper, covered this. One of the students who received this mass email. And now they wrote an op-ed, 3 of the girls, saying that they're slamming the school paper for having written about it, saying that they put, quote, young women of color in danger by writing a piece about the controversy. Okay, here's the thing, though. They wrote about this in the campus paper, maybe because you made it very clear that you thought it was an issue relevant to the entire campus by emailing the entire campus about it. They were complaining because, and this is fair, because they were receiving harassment. They were one of them on Facebook got a death threat, and I'm not, obviously, come out against that, slam that. I know that's horrible, and I know that because it's happened to me before, for sure. I once made a joke on a red eye about Star Wars, and everyone threatened me because they didn't like it. People were threatening to rape me. People were threatening to throw acid in my face. Somebody emailed me and said they hoped that I died of amyloidosis, which is the disease that my mom had just died from. All horrible stuff. And I came out against, obviously, these people. But you know what I didn't do is I didn't come out against the YouTuber who had covered my comments on his channel. A popular YouTuber had covered my joke, and people saw it and got mad, and some people sent me emails. I didn't say, I got all these death threats. How dare this YouTuber have covered my comments on TV? Because you know what? If you're going to make comments publicly, then, yeah, people might weigh in. You're inviting yourself into that. I understand that they didn't go on TV, but they sent out an email to an entire institution isn't so much private communication as it is a press release. I mean, let's be honest here. And, spray painting things like, if you want to be private, fine. If you don't want people to know your opinions on hoops, fine. Sit in your room, say them alone to you, talk to your other friends, maybe even walk up to a girl and be like, hey, take those, like me, be like, hey girl, take off those hoops, you're white. Feel free to do that. But the best way to not get it, or to get attention, the best way to not keep things private is to spray paint your opinions all over a wall on a public place, and then to send out an email to thousands of people with your name on it. Don't act like you don't like this attention or that this is what you were looking for. You weren't shunning attention. You were begging for the attention. So go ahead, slam these people who harass you. I'm not saying that you need to expect harassment for your public opinions. That's sick, and we shouldn't. I have to deal with it every day, and it does drive you nuts. It's really horrible. However, you can't blame the paper for covering an issue that you yourself signaled as being important to the entire campus by emailing the entire campus. And then we have some, I have a new cultural appropriation to tell you guys about. So I want to keep, make sure you guys know about all the new cultural appropriation. I try to keep everybody up on that. So this one is pulling your hair back with bobby pins a certain way deemed cultural appropriation. So Kim Kardashian's hairstylist posted a picture of her where she had her hair in a bun in the back, and then there was bobby pins going all around, and he called it, like a bobby pin headband. People went nuts, saying this was similar to a Caribbean hairstyle called a doobie, is what it was called. And similar, though. They said that they needed to thank the Caribbean culture for this, if she was going to do this, and, don't call it that. It's clearly is a doobie. It's clearly a doobie. But then they said, multiple columnists said this. They're like, but it's kind of not a doobie, because doobies normally, I guess, you use to preserve a blowout. You put them around your head and it preserves a blowout. They're like, well, it's a little different because she had a bun in the back of her head. She was using it to preserve a blowout. So first you're saying that they need to give credit because it clearly is a doobie, and then you're saying that it's not the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing. That's nuts. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, how many bobby pins can I put in my head before it becomes cultural appropriation and I need to give credit in my Instagram caption? When I was in middle school, I used to do that stupid thing with, like, I would get the butterfly clips from Claire's, and I would put butterfly clips all around my head, kind of like, and it kind of looked like a headband, but those weren't bobby pins. Those were butterfly clips, but they serve the same function. Is that cultural appropriation? I mean, what if, like, a hipster restaurant made something that looked like a taco, except instead of a shell, it was lettuce, and then they put vegan meat on it, and then, like, little sprinkles on it instead of cilantro or whatever? Would they have to put in their post, we understand that this looks very similar to a taco, and we did not invent the taco. We would like to credit the Mexican culture for inventing the taco. Come on. Please, is that really the world we want to live in? I wouldn't be surprised the way that food has gotten, you know, or cultural appropriation issues have gotten with food. I really wouldn't be surprised. You know, we had the students at Overland complaining that the sushi at the cafeteria was cultural appropriation just because it was bad sushi. You know, it wasn't like fancy sushi, so it was cultural appropriation. It wasn't even the same hairstyle. And everything, I talk about this all the time, about how humans by now have been around for so long that everything, you know, goes back to someone else. Even if you talk about hoop earrings, they talked about that being, you know, women of color wearing them, modern cultures, and being called ghetto over it. But actually, the first hoop earrings were in, you know, ancient Greece and Rome and Sumerian culture. So they're appropriating. They just don't know that, I guess. Or we could just all chill out. Or we can do that. Okay. We got some school and gun news. Okay? And I don't mean like actual. I mean kids bringing things that sort of make people think of guns and getting in big trouble. So there was a 4-year-old who, from a preschool in Illinois, who got suspended for a week last week. Remember I talked about that? You got suspended for a week for bringing a shell casing to school, which, again, a preschool, you got to expect is a nightmare. That's not a big problem. Well, this week happened again. We got some more of this going on with a 5-year-old getting suspended for playing with a gun-shaped stick. So she was playing a game on the playground with her friends, and her friends were a princess and a queen, and she was the security guard. And a boy came up, and so she did the little, I hate to even do that because maybe I'll get my account banned on Facebook for like doing that. I don't even know what the rules are anymore. I'm kind of scared. Nobody report me, please. I'm not threatening you. Your lives are not being threatened by me. Geez, if I were in this preschool, I'd have been thrown out. I wouldn't even know how to behave in a preschool these days as a 28-year-old woman. Geez. So she was doing that, and the boy told the teacher, and then, I know, right? He told me, yeah, she pointed a stick at me. The boy told the teacher, and the teacher sent her to the principal's office for violating school policy. And apparently she violated it so bad that she needed to take a day off of school because she was suspended. And they said that this is what they said, that she was threatening to shoot and kill other students. I'm sorry, but playing with a stick is not the same thing as threatening to shoot and kill other students. And kids play with Nerf guns, kids play with squirt guns, kids play laser tag. I played laser tag recently. It's actually kind of fun. How could this girl have known that this would be such a serious issue? And they didn't even just talk to her about it and say, hey, don't do it. They said they suspected her. Threatening to shoot, not the same thing. And they said that we respond to all threats in a serious manner and take appropriate action. And they said the intent of the policy is to, quote, ensure the safety of the students and staff. Right. Because had this stick-carrying 5-year-old been allowed to go to class the next day, I'm sure that everyone at school would have been in horrible danger. I'm glad that we were able to, so glad we were able to keep everybody safe from this 5-year-old with an imagination. And her mother's saying she's very upset. She feels like all the teachers hate her. It's really embarrassing to get suspended, and she's confused about what she did wrong. So she has to go back to school, and she feels horrible. This 5-year-old girl, great job. At least we kept all those people safe from a kid with a stick. Are we losing our minds? Yes, we are. This is the problem with zero-tolerance policies, with blanket policies. They don't allow for a consideration on a case-by-case basis, and the problem with that is that all cases are different. It's just laziness. That's what it is. It's laziness. For example, an actual threat is one thing, but, you know, having to suspend anyone if there's anything even remote with a stick, that is clearly not an appropriate reaction. Have they ever met 5-year-olds? Because I think that if they worked at an elementary school, they maybe should have met some 5-year-olds. But 5-year-olds play with sticks. 5-year-olds play these kinds of games all the time. This is absurd. So my column for today isn't out yet, but it'll be out soon. It's about Sean Spicer getting yelled at for telling a black female reporter named April Ryan to stop shaking her head during the press conference. Said he was sexist and racist. I think we all know that Sean Spicer can be a little rude. I think we all know that we live in a free country where everybody has a right to shake their head if they want and keep shaking their head no matter what he says. And if you want, you can call it rude. You can say that, but you can't call it racist and sexist just because, you know what, Sean Spicer has a bit of a reputation for being rude to reporters, regardless of their gender or their race. Remember his very first press conference? His very first press conference, he came out and hit pretty much the media as a whole. And if we start using these words to describe everything that ever happens, we're not going to have, they start to diminish their meaning. They start to not be taken as seriously. So those are the things for my Facebook Live from this week. If anybody has any questions really quick that pop up, but a lot of them don't really seem to be really relevant. Where's Tyrus? Tyrus comes in later today. We're filming tonight, and he'll come in later today. I hope that also there's some people from Team Cheens watching. He's doing really, really well. Last time I checked, it was like somewhere near 75% to 25%. So I'd like to thank you all so very, very, very much for voting for him. And he's a special little kitty. So this is for all the marbles. I really, really appreciate it all. Yeah, people say once you're accused of racism, you're done most of the time. I think that people should make fun of it when it's ridiculous in order to keep people from losing their jobs for something that's not very serious. Roger, what high school did I go to? I'll answer that. I went to Lutheran High North in Macomb, Michigan. I graduated in 2006. When my article will be posted, I don't know, sometime this afternoon. So your daughter says hi, Kimberly. Hi. All right. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you for, make sure if you want, all these columns are on National Review Online. You can read me. I write usually about every day. You can read these columns. You can follow me on Twitter at Timpf. I usually post all these things. Gonna warn you right now, my Twitter is currently very Cheens heavy. It's the name of my cat. Just so anybody who didn't know what I was talking about and may have logged off. But it's very Cheens heavy, a lot of cat stuff. This is a whole contest is for cancer research. It's for, or organizations that help fight cancer. So the more clicks the website gets, the more money goes to this cause. So I've been pretty competitive about it because that's how I am. But it's all for a good cause. So if you're not a cat fan, if you're not a Cheens fan, don't worry. My Twitter, don't be alarmed by all the cat stuff today. The contest is over tonight, and then it'll be only some cat stuff after that because I still do love my kitty. All right. Thank you, everybody. I miss you already. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.